Hello, beautiful hearts. My name is Evonne Wildheart, and this is the cycle report for the 23rd of September 2019. I stand here in Dja Dja Wurrung country in Central Highlands, Victoria, Australia, in the Southern Hemisphere. So today we are at the equinoxes. So in the Northern Hemisphere, they are going through their autumn equinox, which is otherwise in pagan terms is known as Evonne, and they are on the descent now into winter and the darkness. And here in the Southern Hemisphere, we are on the ascent, so moving up to the more daylight hours into our peak period. So we are stretching out and expanding as we move out from now on. So Spring Equinox and all the equinoxes here in Eastern Australian time came in just past 2:30 this afternoon. So now, you know, that for that split second there was a balance, and now it's moved, and now we have more daylight hours than nighttime hours, which feels like a bit of a relief to move, and knowing that, you know, there's warmth to come. You know, we've already had some warm weather, which is awesome. But, you know, there's still a lot to unfold here on this land. What is happening at the moment, well, we have some European plum trees behind me, so they are blossoming and starting to move out. We've had the wattle for a while, but still the wattle keeps on going. We have the Indigenous story creation dance unfolding on this land. So it's the dance between Wah, the raven, and Bunjil, the eagle. And, you know, you see the Wah flying around with sticks in its mouth, starting to build their nests and lay their eggs. And as it's doing that, Bunjil, with his great wings, comes flying down and looks for the eggs and steals the eggs. And then you have this dance between Wah and Bunjil, because the Wah does not want Bunjil to take her eggs. So it's a beautiful unfolding in the sky that you can actually, you know, that's a traditional story of the dream time, and here it is, and it still is playing out today to tell us, you know, that there is birthing happening, there is, you know, so much coming forth. This is a fertility festival, so it's the fertility festival of the maiden and the young god. So we had our Easter egg hunt, our chocolate egg hunt yesterday with my little family, and, you know, we spoke about the goddesses, the maiden goddesses, you know, Ostara and Persephone and Flora, you know, all these beautiful maiden goddesses as they burst forth into the young womanhood. And also we talked about the gods, the young gods, you know, the fool in the tarot, you know, who's so happy haphazard and just sort of steps forward off the cliff without really watching, but still he lands on his feet. We also talked about the god, you know, the Pan and the trickster. You know, it's not a surprise that in the Northern Hemisphere they celebrate April Fool's Day, which is the day of the trickster, the day of the trickster god, the young god who is setting forth and playing tricks on us. Which on the land here, you know, you have really warm days, and then you have cold days, and then you have rain days, just to keep us on our toes, you know, to have a bit of a trick. So this feels like a nice lead-in with the maiden and the young god, you know, the young goddess, the maiden goddesses and the young gods moving in. And from here we move into Beltane, which is the sacred union, where the young maiden turns into the mother and the young god turns into, you know, the green man, so the adult father, them turning into fully adult. So from here, this is like on the life cycle would be equivalent to puberty. So, you know, the young women and the young men starting to open up and, you know, explore their sexuality and explore how their bodies are changing, and, you know, with themselves and with each other. So this is the start of that ascent into Beltane, which will be in 6 weeks' time, which is very, for me, I love this time of year. I love all times of year, but this has a special ding about it. I can't explain it. Maybe it's my hormones as I sit in day 7. So that is an interesting thing. So Spring Equinox is also all about calling in what we want to bring into our lives to bring balance into our lives. So it was really fascinating. I found that we had the climate change student strikes on Friday, calling for a change, calling for the politicians to stand up and to, count for the earth, to look after our great mother that holds us. We're calling for change. So that's to bring balance into our earth. So this spring equinox is all about the birth of the earth. So the earth in birthing. Whereas winter solstice was all about the sun birth. This is about the rebirth of the land, of the earth. And you can see it everywhere, as I said, the blossom behind me and the flowers starting to come forth, the camellias. The earth is starting to open and show her beauty in this colourful, delightful maiden way, which is just a delight, absolute delight. So this is the moon cycle. So with the moon cycle, we are, yesterday was third quarter moon. So it's the descent into the darkness with the moon. So with today being last quarter plus 1 day, and the dark moon, so as we move into the dark moon, which will be on Sunday in the wee hours of Sunday, will click over. So now's the time to start looking at your harvest. It should be really clear on what your harvest has been for this moon cycle, which started a few weeks ago at the end of August, so the 31st of August, I think it was the new moon. So from then, so if you think back to what was happening then, you think about what was happening on the full moon, which was a few weeks ago, and now here we're on the descent into this end of the moon cycle. What is showing up as your harvest for the moon cycle? And what are you letting go? What is it that's showing up that you actually don't want anymore? That's a clue to bring in for the next new moon, which will be on Sunday. So Saturday, so between now and Sunday will be a good time to start thinking about your letting go prayers of what you want to let go. And on Sunday afternoon to call in, what you want for the next moon cycle. My personal cycle, as I said before, I am on day 7. Which has been a big, already I'm feeling really tired. I've been nursing some sick brothers here, and we haven't had much sleep. So during my bleeding period, I haven't had much sleep at all. So I'm feeling already drained, and I know that whatever happens at the start of the cycle, so my day 1 was my first day of bleeding, and that's when they started getting sick, and we've had high fevers and stuff like that. So I know that if this is coming up at spring equinox, that I'm tired, and this early in the cycle, that one of the things that I need to call in actually is deep rest and to look after and nourish my body, because I can almost see it now come ovulation and into the descent of my waning body in a couple of weeks' time, that I'm going to need it. I need to super look after myself right at this moment, because this sets the tone for the rest of the cycle. So this spring equinox today, spring equinox love to you all. I'm going to be calling in rest and nourishment for my body to bring more balance to me, so I can sustain being a mama and doing all the wonderful, awesome things that is magic in my life, because I love that. It makes me really happy, but I can't do it if I'm feeling depleted. So that is for me, and that's what's happening for me, and this is what's happening on this land. So wherever you are, spring equinox love to you. I hope you are feeling, or in the northern hemisphere, autumn equinox love to you. I hope that you are able to see the balances in your life and see where everything is love and beauty, and if there isn't, what do you need to call in to bring that, or what do you need to let go if you're in the northern hemisphere to bring that into your life, because in the end it's all about love and joy and happiness. So from my heart to your beautiful hearts, I send you deep, deep love on this equinox day. Thank you for listening.